Okay, now we're going to learn about indirect objects. Indirect objects work alongside of direct objects. Direct objects, as we discussed earlier, answer the question, what? While indirect objects answer the question, to whom or for whom something is being done. So we had before, with our direct objects, the sentence, we bought the food. Well, let's going to add on just a little bit to that in order to help our cause. How about we bought the food for her? Therefore, we determined that we was our subject, bought was our verb, la comida, or the food rather, was our direct object, because it's what we bought, and then for her would be our indirect object. Who did we buy the food for? We bought it for her. Our next example was they passed the tests for me. Okay? So we determined that they was our subject. What did they do? They passed. So that's our verb. And what did they pass? The tests. Therefore, a direct object. And who they passed the test for? For me. So that's our indirect object. Last example. He picked up my friends and I for my mom. So we determined that he was our subject. And what did he do? Well, he picked up. And what did he pick up? My friends and I. And who did he pick up my friends and I for? For my mom. Therefore, that's our indirect object. Now, let's learn how to change these indirect objects into pronouns, just like we did with direct objects. So, first of all, we're going to need our chart. So, in the top, we're going to have me, te, le, nos. Remember, we're skipping the voso just for right now. And les. So, therefore, me, be me, te, you, le, would refer to the him or her, nos, us, les, them. So, when you're using indirect object pronouns, just like direct object pronouns, they always go before the conjugated verb. Also, when you look down here at le and les, it's a little bit different than the direct object pronouns, unlike the rest, which are exactly the same. Now, with the direct object pronouns, we had lo, la, los, and las. So therefore, we determined whether it's masculine or feminine. Well, with indirect objects, we don't have that issue to deal with. So, when you're dealing with le and les, you need to add an a plus the person you're talking about in the sentence, so that we know exactly if it's talking about a guy or a girl, or with them if it's a group of girls, a group of guys, or you all. Just for a little bit of clarity. So let's go back and put these sentences into Spanish and figure out how to use these as pronouns. So, first example we had was we bought the food for her. Nosotros compramos la comida para ella. Okay? So, we have la comida, we know is our direct object, and para ella. So what we want to do is we want to get rid of this para ella. So we know ella is a her, so we can cross that off and put a le. Okay? Now remember, we have to move this le over to here. So, nosotros le compramos la comida a ella. See how I put the a ella at the end of the sentence in order to clarify that the le was referring to ella. So yeah, next example we had was they passed the tests for me. Therefore, they, we know it's ellos, pasaron los exámenes para mí. Okay, so therefore, we want to get rid of this para mí. So we can cross that off, and me is the me, and then we got to bring this all the way back over here. So ellos me pasaron los exámenes. Now, notice I didn't put an a and then a mí at the end, because that only refers to le or lace, because there can only be one me, the me. Okay, last example that we're going to do is the he picked up my friends and I for my mom. So he picked up now we know what he be él, recogió a mis amigos y yo para mi madre. Okay, so we want to get rid of the para mi madre. So therefore, at the end, we're going to want to put a me, I'm sorry, a le for the madre, because that's a her. So remember, we got to put that le all the way back here before the verb. So él le recogió a mis amigos y yo a ella. Notice I put the a ella at the end in order to clarify that the le over here is referring to the mother. And that is how you use indirect object pronouns in a sentence.